أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam has said that there are teachers, students, and the rest are trash. The rest, what is trash? Trash, you see, trash is something that has no use. There's no way you could get any use out of it. When you got something that, doesn't have any use, you just throw it away. For example, you write down and use a sheet of paper, and what you wrote down is already done with. You already used it, and there's no way you can use the paper anymore. And there's no use that you could get out of what you wrote on the paper anymore. You crumble it up and you throw it away, and that's it. Nobody else can get any use out of it. It's finished. Now, or for example, you vacuum up your room. You look inside the vacuum cleaner and you see a bunch of trash. There's nothing that you can do with that trash. It's useless. There's no benefit, and so you throw it away. Or for example, you cooking some bread, you put it in the oven, and you go and sit down and watch TV for a bit, or you read a book, or you go and talk on the phone to somebody, and you completely forget that you put that bread in the oven, and an hour later you smell something burning, and so you go and see that bread, and it's completely black, it's burnt, and there is nothing that you can do about it. It's over. There's not a speck of anything that's not burnt about the bread. It's completely charcoal by now. You throw it away. There's no use out of it. And you see, when it comes to trash, it's something that has no use, has no sustenance, no benefits, nothing. And so these are who are the trash. People who are completely useless. They don't have any benefit, no sustenance, no spirit about them. They're just there. And Imam Ali alayhi salam calls them the walking dead. And says there's two types of dead people: horizontal dead people and vertical dead people. You'll see that horizontal dead people are in graves. They're dead. And you'll see the vertical dead people are the ones who are walking around. On the outside they look alive. They're walking around. More or less look alive. But in reality they are not even alive. Now you see, the students and the teachers are the ones who actually benefit the world. They learn, they grow, they absorb knowledge, and the teachers teach knowledge, and they benefit people, and they benefit the society and those around them. And these are the teachers. And these people are actually useful. They're not trash. But it's like if you go to a school, a university, in school, Allah gives the students a test, and the teachers, Allah is Ar-Rashid, the righteous teacher. So Allah gives a test in life, and people either pass it, they fail it, try it again, or they study more so that they could pass it. In school, it's the same thing. People get a test from their teacher and they learn, they study, they take the test and they pass, fail, whatever. And they actually grow. Now you have those who don't study, they don't take anything in the school seriously, they just are there. They're not benefiting, they're not giving benefit, they're not, basically they're just taking up space. They go to the school and they just spend time spreading mischief, chaos, corruption. They're not growing in any intellectual aspect, and they're not gaining any knowledge, they're not giving any knowledge. They're just there. And these people are the ones who get expelled. And that's basically throwing them away, getting them out of here. They're not useful. And you see that this is the case. Now, you got the students and the teachers who actually learn and teach and are benefit and are not trash. They're not barbarians or barbaric. So, in the life, how can you tell which is which? How can you tell if somebody's a student, a teacher, or somebody who's just trash? Well, Allah gives us tests. Allah gives us tests, Allah gives us hardships, and Allah tries us. Allah tries us with all kinds of tests. And, this really distinguishes between who's who, which side a person is on. When you see that a person who disbelieves and does not do righteous deeds gets a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what happens? They feel the pressure, they hate the pressure, they prefer falsehood, even though it's falsehood, even though it's just delusions. They prefer it because it makes it such that they can't see the pressure, they can't see the truth. They are just living their life and they are able to feel good about themselves, and are able to ignore and not see all the chaos and destruction that they're causing for themselves, and end up on the path of being astray, being the devil, or being the helpers of the devil, of the shaitan. There is shayateen and taghut, and they really just cause mischief. These are the people who are just not learned. They don't learn, and whatever they think, whatever knowledge they get is useless knowledge, and they try to teach it and feel good about themselves like they actually know something. And they spread their false knowledge to people, trying to sound smart, and a lot of people fall for it too. I mean, you can see people on these talk shows, or some person who gained some kind of PhD, but gained it just by going into something that's not necessarily useful. Not useful, meaning not useful for their afterlife, not useful for their eternal life. You go towards learning about cars and mechanic. You can help people so that they can use that to drive to their job and take care of their family. A person who learns mechanic, he could take care of his family with what he earns. A person who studies how to do art, or do doctors, learn how to be a doctor. They can benefit people. They can earn a living. They can use that money that they earn to take care of their family. Or a teacher. They learn about different subjects in math, different, reading skills, writing skills, and they teach it, and they're able to benefit people so that they can grow. Then you have those who gain knowledge such as astrology, zodiac. They spend their time gaining knowledge in which strain of some kind of drug it gets you, if you smoke it or something, what effect it has on you. Alright, well, drugs are not something that you should be using in the first place. What benefit does it have on me? I mean, if it's some kind of pure herb that actually is permissible to use, that's one thing. But you're just trying to get some kind of high out of it just so that you can feel high, that's a whole different topic, a whole different thing. So it's like, what benefit are you getting out of this, really? There is none. If there's no benefit in it, then what's the point of doing it? Even if there's a little bit of benefit inside of it. Alright, well, you got this amount of benefit, but except for then there's more sin in it than there's benefit. You're transgressing your bounds. There's no, there's little to no sustenance. So really, this can distinguish what is, which side is which, who are the students, the teachers, and who are actually useful, or who is not useful and who could get thrown away. You see, when a person feels pressure and a person is actually tested, then that actually comes out and shows in the truth of the nature and the truth of the matter. You get a person who is put under pressure, they hate the test, they hate God for putting that test on them, and they just want to choose falsehood. Well, then it becomes obvious, when a person gets angry, you'll see that they have no patience in there. They just go and just express all the hatred that they're feeling and all these negative emotions, and you'll see that they're not people who can be patient. Why? Because they're not strong. Then you have those who are actually seeking paradise, seeking to gain nearness to Allah, and when Allah puts a test on them, they thank Allah. They actually are grateful that Allah has put that test on them. How are you grateful? You're under pressure and you're thanking Allah? Yes, because they know that Allah is giving this to them for a reason. Allah is testing them so that they can get even more blessings. You see a lot of people and they want all the blessings. You can't get blessings if you don't even earn the blessings. You see, you want a high place. You want a high place, and you want to go to a place that's really high, and you want to feel enlightened and super whatever. And you don't want to earn that height. You don't want to put in the work that is deserved to actually get that height. You just want to hand it to you on a silver platter or whatever, and you just feel blessed. Well, let me go ahead and be the bearer of this news. If you have a pressure, there's going to be a balance. Alright, if you're patient, then you actually gain from that pressure. If you look towards Allah and you do good deeds and you're patient with the test, and you show that gratitude, and Allah will bless you with that patience because your good deeds, then you gain a height. You gain that elevation. But if Allah puts a test on you, and instead of being patient, all that pressure that's going on you, you throw it away because I can't handle this. It's too much on me. My life is so hard. Is Allah putting more on you than you can bear? Didn't Allah say in Surah Baqarah that He won't burden a soul beyond its capacity? Isn't that what Allah says? So why is it that when Allah puts a test on you, that it's too much? You want to throw it away. Shouldn't you be patient and give victory to Allah, that Allah is the owner of power and strength? Let me appreciate this and see this. What should I do with this pressure? What? Should I go in to the bar and drink sorrows away? And disobey Allah? Or should I reject the devil and actually give victory to Allah, thank Allah, and see what Allah says is best to do with this? Talk to Allah, form a relationship with Allah, that Allah, this is on me, I'm going through this. I thank you for this opportunity. What am I supposed to do now? You have the answers. You are the owner of power and strength. You are the knower of all. This right here, you gave it to me as an opportunity. What should I do? Giving victory to Allah. Acknowledging His attributes. And growing from this test and hardship and being patient with it. Not just, this is hard on me. Let me just go ahead and, turn towards worldly pleasure so that I can, feel some relief, because, I've been under pressure for too long and I can't handle it. That's how a weak person reacts. And you see, that's how a loser reacts. That's how a loser reacts. They can't get the goal that the height that they're actually reaching, and so what do? They go, try to get some drugs so that they can get a height. But guess what? You get a height from that drug, and now you got to suffer consequences. You couldn't handle the pressure when Allah gave it to you. Now you go and take something so that you can hide yourself from that pressure. Guess what? That pressure is meant for you. So now what? You're running from something that you can't escape now? What path is better? What path makes more sense? Looking towards Allah, humbling yourself before Allah and saying, Allah, you're the owner of power and strength, help me? Or, humbling yourself before the devil, because you gotta humiliate yourself before one or the other. You'll see a believer, a Muslim, they go into prostration to Allah. A non-believer, they go into prostration to the devil. They seek the devil's help. They seek creation's help. They seek, the help of this place or that place, rather than Allah. Where should I go from here? What should I do? Who should I go to? The only one I could go to is you. But, what options are you going to open for me? What doors are you going to open for me to go to? This is the reality. If pressure's meant for you, there's nothing that's going to turn it away. Allah wants it for you. And in this world, Allah takes it easy on the disbelievers. Why? Because, they can't handle that pressure. And they don't go towards getting any benefits. It's like somebody in kindergarten. If they're given tests about the ABCs and they just never pass that test and they're just stuck on the ABCs all their life, but they're not growing. They're growing in size, maybe. You know, they never pass kindergarten. They keep on growing and growing. They, you know, just ignore school altogether. You know, now they're grown and they still haven't learned the ABCs, even though they were given the chance to. You know, they don't progress. Now in life, in spiritual growth, a person never just never progresses, never learns, never grows, because when Allah puts that pressure on them, they go and hide from it. So a believer sees this as an opportunity. Now you want to tell which one is which. You see, a person's under pressure, they, you know, their truth comes out. And Allah talks about this in Surah Asr. Wal Asr. And he swears by the pressure that Innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salahati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. That man is in loss. Indeed, man is in loss. He really is in loss. He's a loser. Except for those who are patient and do righteous deeds, and enjoins on other patients in the righteous deeds. So, there's only one answer to and solution to pressure, because you can't deal with it alone. You can't deal with it on your own. You know, you might think that, oh, I can deal with that. That's easy. No, it's only Allah who can give you power and strength. If Allah gave you power and strength, then through that, Allah can bring you to deal with it. But, you know, if you just find some kind of temporary relief, you know, because the devil invited you to some kind of sin that blinds you from the truth, guess what? It's only temporary. You know, we're human beings. We depend on Allah. All creation depends on Allah. We have free will. And if a person decides that they don't want to depend on Allah, that they want to just depend on their own, you know, quote unquote accomplishments that they did by themselves or whatever, you know, really, I mean, if there is any accomplishments in actual good accomplishments, then it was by Allah. It's the bad that comes to us that's from our own hands, though. But if any good comes to us, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank the Lord. You know. Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salam says that when Allah loves his slave, he drowns him in a sea of suffering. He drowns him in the suffering, a sea of suffering. This is what Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam is saying that Allah does. You know, he puts suffering, like a whole entire sea of suffering, he puts you in the midst of it and gives you hardships. Why is he doing this? Allah is a good Lord. It's because in this world we have an opportunity, in a short opportunity. This world is going away like ice melting in our hands. It's going away, and we don't have time. You know, we don't have much time in this world. It's going to be over soon. What are we going to do with this time that we have? We have an opportunity with this pressure to build an eternal life. Allah has given us, you know, Allah has put us in this world. There's some things that we didn't have any choice in. Actually, the things that we actually do have a choice in is very, very small. And Allah gives us, you know, our parents. We don't have a choice in our parents. Allah gives us, you know, our family, you know, our skin color, our, you know, our name, and you know, through the family we're born in, Allah gives us certain things in this life that we don't have a choice in. Where we're born at, we don't have a choice in that. You know, all these different things. So we're born with this, but now Allah has given us the sketch pad and the notebook. And through all this that we go through, we can sketch our we could write our lives. We could write who we're going to be, who we want to be. Allah gives us this opportunity, to decide how do we want our afterlife to be. Here's the pen, here's the notebook, here's the notepad, the sketch pad. Draw yourself. Make your eternity. What do you want in life? How do you want to live your life? Do you ever think, this is the house I want. This is what I want around my house. You go to the house, you go around in this life and you see houses like, oh, that's a nice house. This is a nice house. All right, well, that's houses in this world. This is already said to be a temporary abode. No, this is a temporary abode. Our eternal abode is there. Our eternal abode is after we, use this temporary abode to make our eternal abode. So now we have a chance. Allah gives us that pressure. It's like giving us a whole entire, diagram and blueprint that we can just make how we want ourselves and our afterlife to be. Losers lose out on that opportunity. They're given the opportunity and they lose out on it. Why? Because they want to dwell in this world and just do whatever. Inshallah, they, at least repent before death. And, at least get something, maybe they can have a place. Maybe, the fact of the matter is that, yeah, it's worth repenting in this world because we get engrossed in this world and forget Allah sometimes. Allah forgive us. But Allah gets forgotten. And even one moment of forgetting Allah is worth repenting for. We should be always thinking of our Creator, our eternal life. Not one moment in this world, not one moment at all should be in the moment that Allah is forgotten. And so when Allah inflicts suffering and pain on us, it shows that He loves us. And it shows that Allah has given us this opportunity. There you are. Now, make your eternal life. Here's what you need. Now, make it into something great. This world is for that. It's not for comfort. It's for evolution. It's for evolution. Really it is. You get, alright, yeah, of course, sometimes we need to sit down. And take a moment to recuperate. Why? So that we can do even more. But, this life is not something that should be wasted. It's something that should be used for something great. What are we doing? Sitting around, just watching the days go by, just looking, hey, and it happens a lot. Chilling is good, but if you're always chilling, it's like, sometimes, and I see it sometimes, you can talk to somebody, hey, how you doing? What's up? What you been up to? Oh, just chilling. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm chilling too. Next time you talk to them, chilling. Oh, I'm just chilling. Okay. So, what have you been doing? Just chilling. That's it? You haven't... No, I went out and... I went to the store to buy some chips so I could be chilling. with the chips in some pop or whatever, just chilling. Wow. Okay. So, do you want to do something good? Maybe later. Right now I'm just chilling. So Allah gives you this opportunity to grow, to make something, but instead all you're doing is just chilling. There was a hadith from the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah bless the Prophet in his holy household. And he was asked, what is knowledge? Right? And when the Prophet was asked that, he said knowledge, in his reply to it, he said, when he was asked what is knowledge, he said to keep silent. And the person was like, and then? Meaning, after that, then what? He said it was to listen attentively. Then he asked, and then after that, what? He said, to remember. And then what? And then after that, after remembering, then what? He said to act upon what you've learned, basically. He said to act upon. And then what? To propagate. So in this is knowledge. But you see, when it comes to actually knowing how to listen, even just listening and being silent is hard for a lot of people. When they're under pressure, it's hard for them. You try to, even if you try to teach somebody something, a lot of the time nowadays, they end up being the ones to teach you. You go to a school, you see somebody, having a person who actually studied and learned and, studied this subject a lot, and they're like, alright, now I'm teaching it. Then the students like going up to them for a question, and it's like, alright, you ask the question, now it's time for me to answer. The teacher starts answering, and right then the student's like, yeah, I know, and I know this, and I know that, also blah blah blah, and it's like, alright, so are you going to let the teacher finish so that you could learn something? Or were you trying to teach your point, what you know or what you learn, and try to just put your 2 cents in? You do realize that it doesn't really matter what you know right now if you're trying to learn something. The teacher didn't go up to you and ask you for a question. You went up to the teacher so that you could learn, or at least it should have been so you could learn. But instead it ended up turning out that you went to the teacher so that you can teach, so that you could maybe build up your own prestige or your own rank, or however you look inside of somebody's eye. And at the end of the day, it ends up being really bad. Now, if you get one of those teachers who don't really know anything, they just got a job at a school and all they do is read out the book or whatever and try to look smart, it might end up being one of those battles where it's just like, now both of them are trying to show what they know. Like, yeah, but except for this and that, it's like, alright. But that's not the topic here. Right now we're talking about the fact that knowledge is to stay silent. And all the other steps, to listen, to remember, to act upon, and to propagate. Being patient and actually listening and actually coming to a righteous conclusion about things can be hard sometimes. It can be difficult because, when that pressure's on you, then all these thoughts are going through your mind, and it's hard to, just sit there and be meditative and just see what's going through your mind, or see what's actually, flowing and whatnot. But it's something that when you see the results of being impatient, you should say, wow, that is not really a good response. Maybe I should be more patient. I wasn't patient then, so now I should really be patient now. And there's stories about it. Matter of fact, there's one that I wanted to speak about when it comes to patience. And it's a story I'm sure we all know. If not all of us, a good amount of us. This story is in the Quran. In Surah Kaf, as a matter of fact. The story of Musa and Khidr. When a person came up to Musa and asked, is there anybody who has more knowledge than you? And Musa, peace be upon him, said no. And Allah taught to him that even for prophets, there's people who know something that they don't know. And Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, said, let me meet this person who knows something that I don't know. Musa was a prophet who had a lot of knowledge, who knew plenty of the scene and the secrets and knowledges of the things that you see. But, he was interested in learning about somebody who has knowledge of the unseen. And so Allah told him what he has to do, and he went and did it. And throughout the journey that he went on, he went and was able to find Khidr. And Khidr was there, and Musa went up to him and was like, teach me, I'd like you to teach me what Allah has taught you, and so I can, learn from you. And Khidr was really like, you won't be able to be patient with me. And how can you be patient with something that's in the realm of knowledge that you are not aware of? And Khidr and Prophet Musa was really like, give me some credit. I'm a prophet at least. But no, he said, if Allah wills, you'll find me patient. And so that being the case, Khidr was like, then come with me, but whatever I do not question it, and just wait until I give you the explanation for it. So they went on their journey, and they were on the boat, and Khidr poked a hole in the boat, and Musa was like, what are you doing? This is an evil action. What are you doing? You're poking a hole in the boat. What sense does this make? And Prophet Khidr was like, did I not tell you want to be patient with me? And he said, don't, Prophet Musa said, don't, push me away because of my forgetfulness. I forgot, let's move on basically. And he said, alright, they kept on going, and they saw this teenage boy, and Khidr went up to him. Just innocent looking person from the outside, mashallah. And Khidr went up to him and he killed him. He just killed the boy. And Musa was like, what is going on? You just kill a random kid who hasn't killed anybody? What is this action for? What are you doing? Khidr was like, did I not tell you wouldn't be able to be patient with me? Musa was, alright, look, if I can't be patient again, then don't keep my company anymore. So they went and they they went to this place and asked, they requested some food. And the person rejected them. And Khidr went and saw this building, the side of the building collapsing, about to collapse. And so Khidr went and started repairing it. And Musa was like, you could have demanded some compensation for this work. Khidr was then like, this is where you and I part ways. You are going to get the explanation as to what I was doing. So as for the boat, you saw me put a hole in the boat. This boat belonged to poor people. The poor people will have a king come and try to seize the boat. But since I put a hole in the boat, the king's not going to try to seize it. It's damaged. Now, the king was going to seize it by force, and these poor people would be better off with a boat that they just have to fix rather than a boat that they don't have anymore. Now they have a boat. Now they can keep this boat. They just got to do a little work to fix it. So, this is the matter with the boat. The boy had parents who were believers, but he was rebellious, very rebellious, and he was someone who had very much potential to cause such hardships to his parents that his parents turned towards disbelief. We feared that this was going to happen, so it would be better that this child passes, or he dies, and we have hopes that Allah will bless these parents with a better and believing child. So in that case, we killed the child. Now then, in the third instance, this wall you saw me repairing, it belonged to two boys, and their father was a righteous man. There is a treasure under this wall. And the treasure, when the boys become of age, Allah wills that this treasure they're going to be able to use. You see, now, these instances are the explanation for that which Musa couldn't be patient with Khidr in. And you see, in this instance, Khidr was the teacher, Musa was the student, and from this, they grow. Musa learned something, and Khidr, was the teacher in it. In this case, there was benefit. But you see, in that patience, in that hardship, Musa having to deal with the fact that Khidr is doing these actions, which he's unaware of why it's going on like this, and Khidr having to teach Musa and deal with the fact that he couldn't be patient. You see, and because of these things, they were able to use that, and they were able to grow from it. But if they were such that they didn't learn from this, and get closer to Allah from this, then they wouldn't be benefiting from this. They wouldn't be benefiting from this this journey that Allah has set them out on. So we really have to see this pressure as an opportunity. We have to see this pressure as an opportunity. We have to be patient in order, if we want to go and be admitted into the highest levels, not just even paradise. A believer not only wants to go to paradise. A true believer, a follower of Ahlul Bayt, they want to get as high as they can in paradise. But you gotta be brave. You gotta give victory to Allah, because Allah is the owner of power and strength. Allah is the one who could give you that strength to be strong in those times of pressure. Otherwise, there's plenty of examples of people who just sell their deeds, sell their afterlife for this small price of this world. It's for the small price of this world. Like, oh, well, money? Alright. If you're giving me this much money, well, okay, I'll sell my afterlife. But we're not going to go into the stories today. This was just to give a prequel, a basis, or, an understanding and some knowledge about patience and how pressure is an opportunity. We only have it for some time. And by the end of it, we want to have lived our life in order to write our afterlife and grow, so that we can have a eternity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshaAllah. When the Mahdi Ajrullah ta'ala Faraj Sharif comes back, he's not going to come back until there are those true believers, true followers of his, who are ready for him. A lot of times people say the awaited Mahdi. No, we're not waiting for the Mahdi. The Mahdi is waiting for us to get our act straight, to come in unity and love. And when we can't even be patient, and Allah gives us a test, and we just fold and get discouraged, and we can't be patient in that, then it's really this situation where it's like, well, we can't be patient with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How are we going to benefit the Mahdi? And inshallah, we can be patient with Allah's test, and we do good deeds so that we could be patient, and Allah, inshallah, keeps us guided on the straight path. Well, thanks for watching the show, and inshallah, next time we'll speak about another topic. Until next time, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.